just check we are live. And we should be live, yes. Right, we are live, yes. Okay, well, hello everyone and welcome to a different type of FPRL stream. We are doing a Formula 2 championship, not Formula 1 as usual. I am your host, Cruiser 1872, and today I am joined by the one and only Horse Manure. Thank you for joining me as we welcome a new chapter to the FPRL series as we begin round 1 of round Monza. Now, the Formula 2 format is a little bit different to the Formula 1 format. We only have a 30-minute qualifying session as opposed to 3 sessions of qualifying, and this will determine the grid for the first of 2 races tonight. So, Force, just from looking at this lobby, who do you fancy the most to take pole? Yes, Biddle is here, Snedden's here, everyone is here across all 3 of our FPRL tiers, ranging from Tier 1, of course, to Tier 3. So we've got a good amount of variety on this grid, and seems like nobody's tempted to go out just yet to settle lap time. So we've got a few minutes just to up to a light. We've got our first person out on an out lap. Lewis Yorkie driving for the Cruise Racing team. No, I did not take inspiration from that to get my username. Should be sorry about that. So we've got 3 cars out on the track currently. We've got Lewis Yorkie, I'm Not Good, who is usually a McLaren driver from Tier 1, I believe, and good old Tidgham, who I was stuck behind most of the time going around Austria last time out. And now we've got a bit of momentum going on in the pit lane, as Lewis Yorkie just is about to begin his first flying lap, and the first flying lap of the Formula 2 Championship Series. So we'll see how he goes for his first lap, so no pressure. We're in the final corner, taking a very, I wouldn't say a very wide line, but now powering down towards the first chicane. DRS wide open, I should say, no ERS of course on the Formula 2 cars, so it should make everything a little bit more difficult. But of course we're in Monza, and so powered DRSs should be really close. Very clean round the first chicane, as he encounters a little bit of traffic, just about keeps out of the way around turn number 3, and for the first sector from Lewis Yorkie, 28.382 after the second chicane, doesn't take any chances towards the first of the 2 Lesmos. Fairly clean in the first one, just a bit keeps out of bounds, was able on board. However, I think validates that. Bit fortunate there for Lewis Yorkie, as his teammate, I'm Not Good, very minor in the first one as well. He doesn't really net point was the second red zone was this very short. Of course, one of the two cars also fairly clean down towards what was originally known as the public turn. It just about keeps it within the lines, powers down towards the finish line, and it's going to be 129.445. That is our first time of the session and the first time of the Formula 2 Championship. So fault there, and I'm not good has binned it out of the first Lesmo and is out of the session. Having just set that first lap time, it's all went wrong for the Caruso driver. Not a good start to the session, is it, folks? As we've seen one people like Kurt go fastest with a 29.3, 2/10 up on I'm Not Good, sorry to cut in there. Fourth spot, as we also have Lewis Yorkie blow that time out of the water for 128.1. That's more like it from Lewis Yorkie. Obviously his first lap being validated. Getting the benchmark.
Here, both of us.
I do apologise about that.
There we go.
So I want to hog all the spotlight for the night. But anyway, Lewis Yorkie with a 128.312 as he's crawling around the track, seemingly out of fuel. Absolutely.
That's the thing, is how many laps would you have had to have done to have run out of fuel? Because I don't think you can adjust your fuel levels in this.
Completely new challenge for these drivers as we have Hobnob powering down to the line, going second fastest, still over a second down on Lewis Yorkie as he also is about to run out of fuel. See if there's any other drivers I wonder. We've got Snedden currently, the timed lap, it's going around turn 3s. We've got yellow flags in sector 2 and 3, that'll be for the slow Lewis Yorkie who still probably going to be running on fumes when he gets to the pit lane. He'd have to go out and push the car. Snedden just about keeps it in bounds around the first Lesmo, and the second Lesmo also keeps it in bounds just about. Says he's got some grass on the exit. RS now activated as we run down towards this chicane. Very nice there from Mr. Snedden to go on board with him towards the final turn. Slams on the brakes, turns in, flips to the inside curb, drifts wide, uses all the speed he can, goes down towards the finish line. He's not going to get close to Lewis Yorkie, but it's good enough for second place with 128.7.
Well, at least we're seeing a few
We're
of them
starting-
in the 128s.
Starting to see a few into the 128s, yes, but I get the feeling you've got to go into the 127s to challenge Lewis Yorkie. Because now we see a bit more action in the pit lane. As David Allface retires from the session. That's Barry
What's that in 11th?
And there's a little bit of a roadblock here at turn 1 as David Allface actually stopped just before the first chicane. It might have ran into the back of someone and not
I think we're seeing a lot of cars really going slow here. Low fuel, they're just trying to conserve fuel as they're going round.
Yes, of course, we don't have very large fuel tanks for the qualifying session on these cars, so it's very much you've got to get your lap done, get it as best as you can. So we have Bobby Knott here on an out lap, and Harlan team to see ahead of him, not too bad, is Revengezilla, his teammate. So I get the feeling here, folks, we're going to see a little bit of tactics here between teammates, possibly a slipstream.
Yeah, let's see what happens. If it helps them out in any way. Even there.
Of course, Monza is known for its long straights, and we've seen quite a lot from the Formula 1 races and Formula 2 races that having a DRS pool here is important to getting moves done. And the slipstream effect is also critical in qualifying as Zilla starts his lap with Dobby Knock right behind him on the run down to turn 1. Will Zilla get out of the way? No, he won't. He's going to be giving him a toll throughout the full lap as Zilla runs a little bit wide going down the first chicane. Dobby Knock right on the rear line of his teammate. Zilla now elects to move over and Dobby Knock is released. Now it's down to Dobby Knock to get their lap together. Maybe return the favour to Revengezilla later in the session.
Is that Zilla just trying to keep up with him so that he can do it for the next lap?
I believe he is. He's trying to keep with his teammate. I think after compromising turn 1. So we've got 19 minutes left in the session and our top 10 so far. Lewis Yorkie, Collateral Ads and Silverside Boy. They are exchanging second place right now as Silverside Boy has a 128.279. So we're getting a bit closer now to the 127s. Probably not goes very wide out of the start chicane.
Still does invalidate that.
Almost invalidated. Not on my screen.
No, he has not.
Collateral Ads now up in second place with a 128.1. Just a just now behind Yorkie. Snedden now in fourth going for an outlap.
Comes
Renzi
Dobby.
in fifth, Hobnob sixth. Dobby Knock now goes into fourth place with 128.621. Pushing Hobnob down to seventh place. Monkey Boy Kurt down in eighth as Zilla now is released from the slipstream and DRS of Dobby Knock. I'm not good in that crash early in the session is in ninth and Neil Nemesis in 10th. Tijum, Roswell, Willy Bum and Brookie Min interesting so far.
Can we just get Zilla coming round the Lesmos just now?
Yes, we roll on board with...
Oh.
Oh dear! And there has been a bit of a disaster in the Lesmos. That's one of the primers, I believe. Yes, it is the fraud himself, Biddle, who I think has dropped it out of the second Lesmo, causing a bit of a car park and possibly compromising Zilla's lap there. Zilla is now almost out of fuel. He's got to get this lap together and hooked up. Going down towards the final corner as we've got a... I'm not too sure who that is at the Ascari chicane. That's Neo Nemesis just going by now. I think it's Silverside Boy, yes. We've got Silverside Boy going very slowly. He must have run out of fuel as well. They're all dropping like flies for these fuel stoppages right now. Silverside Boy as well suffers from that as Revengezilla goes into 6th place.
The we've got a new leader at the top in Brickman.
Yes, Brickman throughout all of that, as someone has went very wide at turn 1 and has hit some of the barriers. Brickman is displaced Lewis Shorty and went fastest with a 128.044. Getting very close to the 127s now here.
Yep, certainly are.
Hopefully get into the 127s before the end of the session, as we only have two drivers who have yet to set a lap time, David Lawface and his teammate Tornado033 driving for the Virtuosi. The first out lap of the session, so we'll be very mindful of slower moving cars who are going to fuel, as I'm not good posts in Twitch chat that he's enjoying the session so far. Shall we make no further comment on that?
Controller batteries are low.
It's never a good sign. As Tornado lets through one of the Premas who is on a fast lap. And is now going to set a lap of his own. I believe that is, yes, Biddle is setting his first flying lap of the session, and where will this put him? Put him into second place, just behind the Brookieman.
That is quite tight between the top four. Even the top five, to be honest, it's very tight.
Yeah, all covered by just over 0.2 of a second, as Tornado has invalidated his lap time before it's even begun. That's a bit of a red face moment there for the Virtuosi man.
Yep.
We go on and we see TGM now starting his lap, pausing the rev limiter. Of course, as I said earlier, these cars only have 6 gears, so top out pretty quick. Keeping it cleaner in the first chicane, powering down towards turn 3, keeping a very tight line, trying to save as much time as he possibly could. First sector with a 28.5, he's up just over a tenth in his old time. Second chicane looks very clean going towards the Lesmos. Got to be mindful as well of the slow moving Prema. Good. Just finishes lap time in second place. Again, looking for a bit of a slipstream behind the Prema. Just about avoids him, powering down towards the Ascari chicane. And is up 0.2 on his best lap time. So a solid lap so far here from TGM. Keeping it clean around the Ascari chicane, going now towards the Parabolica. No one to give him a slipstream though, so he's at a bit at a disadvantage here. He's very wide out of the Parabolica. Has he just lost all that time he's made up? Yes, he has. He's lost half a second in that final sector. Still remains 16th fastest, but that could have been a good lap to take him towards the top 10.
We currently have Tornado on his flying lap.
It's a 28.3 for the first sector, and a purple first sector as he bounces over the curb at turn 5, excuse me. And the first of the two Lesmos, keeping it very tight. If he keeps this all together, it could be potential 127 lap time, or possibly even challenge for the top 3, which is separated by just under 0.2 of a second. And the fuel lights now came on as well for Tornado. He sets a 58.1 for the middle sector. Keeps it cleaner in the Ascari chicane. The fuel lights not be causing him a couple of problems. Hopefully he has just enough fuel to take him to the end of the lap. Very clean around the Parabolica, just about keeps it in bounds. And will we see our first 127? Yes, we will. Tornado shooting up the leaderboards, up into P1 currently in pole position with 12 minutes left of the session. 127.938. Solid lap there from the Virtuosi driver, who of course invalidated his first lap before he even began.
Question is, can anyone actually match that or beat it?
Of course, it's not about what happens in this qualifying session. Of course, it'll give you a good advantage for the sprint race, which will happen next. But it's not about where you finish in the sprint race, it's about where you, this is about what you do with it for our feature race. Of course, the qualifying here will set out the grid for the sprint race, but the sprint race will have a complete reshuffling of the patch. So it's all fine and well winning the sprint, but it's about how much you make up in the feature race.
There's Tornado running at a fuel now as well.
Good time, not got too far to go before the pits. He's got, I believe, around 10 minutes left of this this first qualifying session of our new championship. And a top 5, all currently separated by just over 0.2 of a second, with Silverside Boy a little bit further behind the lads. Brownsy, then we've got Revengezilla, Dobino and Snedden rounding out the top 10, and the only 10 drivers to get below the 120 line. So I'm going to ask you real quickly here, Force, out of all the top 5 drivers, who do you see possibly challenging Tornado for pole?
I think any one of them could obviously get close to it, but it's about who can just put in that perfect lap in it. That's what it really is about, isn't it? Just getting that perfect lap in, but
it's about stringing it up and getting it all together.
I'll see.
As Brookhaven is our first of the top 5 on their outlap, as we've got more yellow flags for one of the Bremas who's run out of fuel. I believe that is Snedden. Yes, actually Snedden's not run out of fuel. He's currently on a cool down lap, which they made a mistake. So on board with Brookhaven, DRS activated, going down towards the first chicane, passing the rev limit at just over 200 miles an hour. Slams on the brakes. It was a bit wide at the first part, going behind the second part. Full throttle going down towards turn 3. Hoping to be up in his best lap time so far.
Snedden's going to the pits.
Yep, Snedden abandoning his lap, hoping to get a new set of tyres on, I think. First lap. Brookhaven only down by 0.04 of a second on their first lap time. But very clean on the second as well. It's to find 0.2 of a second here in the final 2 parts of the lap to stand a chance at challenging Tornado. Almost invalidates their runner over the Astari chicane. Just about keeps it within bounds. So I'm going to see. We've got Brownsy out currently in a lap.
Yeah, I'm watching Brownsy just now.
And the Parabolica here for Brookhaven, hoping... Actually, I think Brookhaven might have backed off in their lap to go again. Yeah, it's been a terrible final sector for Brookhaven, who's somehow lost 5 seconds. But they will go again as we go on board here with Brownsy, I believe.
Yep, just about to cross the line. See what he does.
28.5.
He hasn't improved.
He's going again though. Hopefully he's got enough fuel to complete this lap. Currently sitting, of course, in 7th, just ahead of Revengezilla and Dobby Knott.
Yep, I've got a migrating host as well.
Oh dear. Yep, Mr. TGM has left the session. So we have Collateral Ads now out on their outlap, with 7 minutes left to go of the session. So you get the feeling this could be Collateral Ads' final chance. movement yet, of course, from Biddle or Lewis Shorty, who set the pace early in our qualifying session. So we've got a yellow in sector 1 as Silverside Boy is keeping well out of the way of one of the drivers who's setting their fast lap now, which is Hobnob.
Oh, Groundsy spun it coming through the parabolica.
That's not good for Groundsy. And is also very low in fuel as well, so...
Oh, another one. Who was that?
Neo Nemesis is... That was a bit of a confusion for Groundsy. And Neo Nemesis, got to see him. A bit unfortunate there with Groundsy spinning at the end of the Ascari chicane, but unfortunately nothing that Groundsy could do as much as what Neo Nemesis can do, as David Lowface says Tidjum's internet has just gone down, so that's unfortunate for Tidjum, who's pretty far down the order in 17th place. Hobnob has invalidated his We have the two Carlin boys now of Revenge Zilla and Dobby Knock doing the slipstream games again. This time it's Dobby Knock giving the main clue to Zilla. Doesn't let him through and is down a 10th in his best lap time. Gets very close to the rear of Dobby Knock. Zilla of course sitting in 8th, Dobby Knock in 9th. So both of them looking for something lap. Zilla wide out of the first Lesmo. About peaks it inbounds. As Billy Bum retires from the session down in 18th place, so we won't see much more improvement from them. Zilla though is up in his best lap time by just over 600ths of a second. He's to have opened to go ahead of Groundsy, who is in the pits, and I don't think we'll see any more of Groundsy for this session. Dobby Knock lets Zilla through, hopefully get the favour returned at the start of the next lap as Groundsy retires in 7th place. So we won't see any more improvements from them. This is now down to the two Carlin boys as Zilla doesn't improve.
Doesn't improve at all.
Disastrous final sector for Zilla, so Dobby Knock is getting the benefit of the slipstream. Wide from Zilla in turn 1 as we've got a very slow moving rookie min in their outlap, hoping to challenge Tornado, who's got a whole line of traffic going down towards the Ascari chicane, getting a toll from Collateral Lads, which isn't beneficial for Collateral Lads, although Tornado is down quite a bit on the best lap time. They will get 2 points as Ads and Tornado are playing a bit of mind games with each other. Both of them want that slipstream.
Enough 3 abreast there.
Almost. And Tornado is going to get the benefit of the slipstream behind Collateral Lads.
Just went wide in parabolica.
Lads.
Just went wide in parabolica, Collateral Lads.
I think he might have done that intentionally, just... No, he might get out of fuel.
Nice pin.
Yes, Collateral Lads is coming into the pits. I think that could have been a bit of mind games there from Collateral Lads, as Tornado is now held up behind TS9. TS9 down in 14th place, hoping for a bit of improvement himself. We've got a yellow flagger in sector 1 as Biddlefrod comes out of the way. TS9 down a second on their current lap. Nobody really making any gains so far. Tornado goes very wide and invalidates his lap time. Almost takes the nose off of TS9 there. Bit naughty there from Tornado as Biddle goes through.
Silverside Boy pits.
Silverside Boy down in 6th place. 2 minutes left of the session. I don't think we'll see any more of them as they retire. So Silverside Boy contempt with 6th place. Decent qualifying, it must be said, for Silverside Boy. As we have Lewis Shorkey now currently in a flying lap. approaching static car there. I didn't see who it was outside of the first Lesmo. And I think Lewis Shorty's backed out of this lap as well. Yeah, they've backed off. They're currently down 2 seconds on their best lap time, which was the fastest for quite a bit of this session early on. As now we've got quite the car park around the circuit. Everyone trying to set that final lap time to hopefully challenge Tornado, who is in the pits. So Tornado will not get a chance to improve their lap time. This is now down to Brookieman and Biddle to see if they can catch him. Brookieman starting their final flying lap now. Very cleaner in the first chicane. They need to get this lap hooked up as we approach the end of this qualifying session. So it's now a never here for Brookieman and possibly Biddle and Lewis Shorty too. The only 3 that can possibly challenge Tornado is Brookieman sets a purple sector 1. He needs to find more time. They're only up 300ths on their best lap so far.
Yeah, Cross Kerry's just crossed the line there and has not improved at all.
Cross Kerry are down in 11th place, so if they were to finish that there, they would just miss out reverse grid pole as TS9 rose above Cross Kerry into 11th place, a 129.027, as the checkered flag falls for this cross qualifying session of the championship. TGM retires from the session down in 14th place. See any more improvements. This is now down to Brookieman. Biddle's pitted, and Lewis Shorty is currently on a flying lap as well. Will either of these two challenge Tornado for pole? Brookieman abandons their lap, and so does Lewis Shorty. So we see no improvement at the top, and it will be Tornado who starts the first race of our Formula 2 Championship on pole.
I haven't seen any improvement at the bottom 10 as well. Everyone just seems to be not able to improve their times.
Yeah, quite an anticlimactic end to the session, but Tornado will not complain one bit, as we've got Crosscury here who's abandoned their lap. TS9 has invalidated their lap, and Dobinok is, no word for it, crawling towards the pits. So a bit of an anticlimactic end to that first qualifying session, but it is Tornado, Brookieman and Biddle, the top 3 for our first sprint race. Like I said earlier, it's not about what you do with this qualifying session, it's about how well you finish in the sprint, because that will determine your position on the grid for the feature race, which will happen later on. So Force, any potential standouts from this this session apart from the top 3 obviously?
Well, I think obviously Silverside Boy and Clatter lads, Yorkie, they're kind of close to the top 3. It's what you can do in the race, whether it's your race pace is better than your qualifying pace, then you've got a good chance.
Yes, and I see Adrian H in the chat saying, no heroics into turn 1, less work for me, God bless. Of course, Monza is known for a bit of turn 1 carnage, looking at Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton.
Yep.
And of course everyone knows Monza in this video game series is known for having a car park at turn 1. Hopefully we have nothing on that, as Groundsy has a 5-place grid penalty.
Oof.
Not sure what that is for, I'd like to have a quick check.
Race director.
He has a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with David Lawface.
Is
So
that...
that would explain why David retired early in this session.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, David down right at the back of the grid. The only driver not to set a lap time. So he's got it all to do in the sprint. And we look as well, the gap between Brushiman and Biddle incredibly close. And yeah, they've got quite a few lap times, all within a couple of hundredths of each other.
Mm-hmm. There's no big gaps there at all.
Not much of a gap between most of our drivers, no. And that's the magic of the series, it seems. Although we've got everyone here, that we all have our own individual battles, it seems. And now we have a bit of an intermission between our qualifying session and our first race, so I'm going to ask Force any bold predictions for our sprint race.
No. Not at all.
Fair enough.
Not the first race of the season. I don't think you can really judge anyone. Certainly don't think you can judge them on their performance in an F1 car compared to an F2 car, because they're certainly different enough.
Yes, very, very true. If I were to make any prediction, I would say we will not see a safety car on lap 1. That's not then again, that's not a prediction, that is a hope and pray. As I'm Not Good makes his prediction of 12 drivers to DNF into turn 1. Let's hope not, we do not want a repeat of Mugello.
No.
As we've got 15 seconds until the start of the first sprint race of the Formula 2 Championship.
I take it everyone's going to be starting on mediums.
Yes, I believe so, as we get ready for our formation lap. And yes, everyone is starting on medium tyre.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be changing for the sprint race. I think it'll just be a straightforward
Race to the flag, yes. Of course, the sprint race in Formula 2 very similar to the new sprint races in Formula 1. You don't have to make any mandatory pit stops, it's just get from lights out to the checker flag as fast as you can. So, Force, like to give a quick rundown of the grid while we wait for the formation lap to finish up.
Okay, and number 20 we have David Lawface. Ahead of him we have Ross Well. In 18th, Willie Bum. 17th, I'm Not Good. In front of him we have Neo Nemesis, and then Monkey Boy Kurt. PGM. And in 13th we have Hobnob. In front of them we have Cross Kerry. In TS9, Tornado. 9th we have Groundsy. 8th Brookie Min. 7th Biddle. Then Yorkie. Crattle Lads. Silverside Boy. Our top 3 are Revengezilla, Dobby Knock and Snedden.
Thank you very much for that, Force Manure. Snedden starting on pole for some reason, even though he qualified in 3rd. As we have Tornado as well, sitting in 10th. So I believe there might be quite a few potential mishaps here with the reverse grid, as Snedden goes a bit wide, going towards the final corner. Backing up the pack quite a bit, trying to keep as much life on their tyres, as the two Carlins have decided not to play any more team games and play bumper cars. They've been disqualified from the formation lap right at the end. It seems the gloves are off for those two. So we now wait for the grid to start forming up. As Snedden files his way into pole. And we now get ready for a new chapter in FPRL as David Lowface takes his place on the grid. Lights are on ahead of the drivers. And we are underway here in Monza. It's a decent start from the front two, a good start further behind there from I'm Not Good. As Snedden leads him away down towards turn 1. Dobby Knock keeps second place as we are now 4 abreast going down towards the first chicane. Silverside Boy wheel to wheel there with collateral lads who just about keeps in front of Silverside Boys who go wheel to wheel around turn 3. Battles all across the field. And there we have Dobby Knock going very, very wide spinning around turn 3. Everyone's got to try and avoid him as we've got a big collision there between Revengezilla and Tornado. That's going to be a potential safety car. A virtual safety car has been deployed as Snedden and Dobbynock wheel to wheel around turn 3. Dobbynock got on the gravel, lost control of the car, and they do indeed have a safety car deployed. And it seems like Tornado and Revengezilla, just innocent bystanders and all that.
Seems like David Lowface has got himself a 5-second penalty as well.
Yes, David, through all the aftermath, has picked up a penalty as if this race couldn't get any worse for him so far.
Severe collision with Willy Bum.
Didn't quite pick that up there, but the game obviously did, and David Lowface with a 5-second penalty.
I think he's got wing damage as well.
Yes, David does have wing damage. Tornado has got no front wing. Obviously with the collision from Revengezilla, complete lap 1, and now catch up to the safety cars. Hobnob gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as does Dobby Knock, so it seems like they didn't escape the turn 3 carnage either.
Nope, 5 of them in the pits.
As we now see the big winners from us all, Roswell up from 19th on the grid to 10th. So a very good start there from Roswell.
David's having to serve his 5-second penalty, I think. He's managing to do that under safety cars.
Yeah, I suppose it's better to get it out of the way now than have it served later in the race. He's got his front wing fixed. And now away is Neo Nemesis as well, up in the action too, I believe. He had to get his front wing changed.
2 of them have put on the soft tyres.
So they have nothing to lose. But that being Neo Nemesis and Hobnob, both down in 15th and 19th place. So if Posey got nothing to lose, you might as well vote on a set of softs and hope we take you to the end of the race.
Well, I think they've really got to hope that they're allowed to catch back up to the pack before they bring the safety car in.
I believe we will have one more lap behind the safety car as we go around the parabolic now. So that will give the 5 drivers who have pitted a chance to catch up. As somehow Roswell was made up 4 places behind the safety car. I don't know what he was thinking. Oh, he's came into the pits as well. It's very strange there from Roswell, who had such a good start.
Yeah, he's kind of thrown that away there.
Oh, he's got front wing damage too. So, all that good work from Roswell is just came undone as now Hobnob goes through, Dobby Knock goes through, and I'm pretty sure he might lose a place here to Tornado.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, he's going to a disaster for Roswell.
Might even lose to David
Said he
as well.
potentially,
Yep.
as David
He might
Lowface
end up in
powers down the
last.
straight. Neo Nemesis now going down the straight as well, and all that good work that Roswell has made just became undone. Suppose he doesn't want to do things easy, does he?
That's the thing.
So,
If you wing damage here, you're just as well coming in.
You're going to be a sitting duck around Monza if you've got any front wing damage at all. But obviously Roswell thought you made up 9 places in 1 lap to make up 18 places in 2 laps.
I have a different prospect though.
Yes. Of course, unfortunately, he did have to change his front wing, but taking the same approach as Neo Nemesis and Hobnob, going on the soft are hoping to make up as much places as they can.
I think we've got another lap. Another lap under the safety car.
Another lap behind the safety car, so this sprint race has become very much of a meander so far. But I'm sure Snedden won't be complaining too much, as he leads the pack from Silverside Boy, Rookie Man, Lance, and Shorty in 5th place. Because everyone on medium tyres from the start, except from those who pitted, as Dobby Knock Tornado and David Lowface have suggested to go back onto medium tyres, and everyone else is on a new set of softs. Hobnob and Dobby Knock carrying 5-second penalties for speeding in the pit lane in the first tyre change. So later on in the sprint race that will be quite a blow, as usually around Monza you don't really go 5 seconds very easily on the curve.
Especially in only 11 laps to go, in an 11 lap race.
Even at that, by the time a safety car goes in, we will only have, I believe, 7 racing laps if all things go well. So, Hobnob, Neo-Nazi and Roswell, Nemesis, excuse me, should hopefully get a move on. I do apologise for my slight slip of the tongue there. So hopefully race control.
Yeah, there we go.
And I shall receive our safety car in this lap. So Snedden now backing up the pack as much as he can, and I get the feeling he will wait until as late as he possibly can to put the power down to try and nullify any slipstream down towards the first chicane, as the Silverside Rookie Men and Latin lads roll almost like a caterpillar behind Snedden. On board with Snedden, and we wait for them to put the foot down. Like I said, taking as much time as they dare before they do put the foot down. Field now almost like a car park behind them, as Tornado gets a 5-second penalty for colliding with Hobnob, as Snedden gets the foot down and we go racing once again, and Monza's collateral lads falls down to 7th place. A terrible restart from them.
Here comes Silverside Boy.
Silverside Boy, we're almost 2 lanes behind the safety cars. Tornado DNS from the session. Silverside Boy gets it. Snedden, as we've got
somebody's round. Collateral lads.
It's collateral lads spinning. And I'm not sure who that is, but we've got multiple cars off. Kurt is the unfortunate one in all of that.
I think Dobby Knock as well.
Yes, Dobby Knock. Come in and Snedden exchange places as well, and Silverside Boy really clear. So critical restart from Silverside Boy. They've done what they've had to do, and it's headed for now possible challenge. Well, looking for a little bit of this is what I mean around Monza. Everyone is so places from the start. He's Snedden dropping back.
I'm not good is out. I think Monkey Boy has lost his wing as well.
And we have another safety car. The sprint now
there we go.
Very much taking a cool down. And
Hobnob in the pits and Yorkie in the pits, along with Oswell.
Two in the pits. This race is all fell apart for Oswell.
Yeah, such a good start, and it's just went down the pan since then.
Very much so. As now we have another safety car in this sprint race, which is certainly taking its time. Never had much drama around Silverstone when he did the sprint race.
I think we had just a few cars going through a Ascari there side by side, and I don't know if it's just been when they've come out of it, whether it shouldn't have gone off to the side.
Of course, Snedden backing up the pack quite a bit, and that must have had an impact further behind as everyone was jockeying for position. As Lloyd is just getting out the pit lane now, so they've lost quite a lot of time now. Thankfully, they will make up that time due to the safety car. But they really need to get the hammer down now to try and salvage something from this race. As we now have another safety car. I'm afraid there's not really much to report on, as Neo Nemesis is shooting damage.
Yep.
As I'm not good, saying in Twitch chat, saying that Roswell might have hit them off the track a little bit. So that could be something for the stewards to talk about. As Neo is still held in their place.
No.
Losing their place there to lose Yorkie, actually. Few Hobnob as well. I don't think they'll lose the place to Hobnob, but the damage has been done. Yes, they're quite ahead of Hobnob.
I think we've seen at least half of this race under the safety car now.
Unfortunately, I believe we've actually seen more than half. We've only had like half of a racing lap between each safety car. So, throughout this safety car period, you'll see who's actually made a place up in this race. So we'll see TGM and David Lotface and Playbomb all have made up 8 places from the start. And Dobinock has lost 9 places, but has recovered well from that first lap with Snedden. Finds himself in this. And I'd like to apologise, of course, because due to this safety car period, I've not seen much racing. Hopefully, though, for the future race, we will see more than half a lap of racing. I suppose I should ask first, out of the half a lap that we've seen, has there been any standout performers?
Yeah, whoever can keep it on the track for long enough. I think Silverside Boys seem to be pulling himself a nice wee lead there. Him and Brookie seemed to have a nice wee gap before the safety car had come out. I think they'd broke away from DRS and were starting to gap the cars behind them.
Yes, he did pull a second and a half to Brookieman behind. Of course, due to the safety cars we've had, that's kind of irrelevant.
Whether they're going to be sitting ducks again like Snedden was under the safety car restart.
Yeah, thanks. The mistake Snedden made there, he didn't cover off the inside enough, and Silverside Boy was just braving the brakes. As we have another lap behind the safety car, and at least by the end of the race we will have, I suppose, at least 3 laps of racing towards the end, which is always good. 3 lap racing within an 11 race sprint.
Yes, the monkey should have caught up by the end of this lap.
Hopefully, so they're just leaving the Astari chicane now, as everyone else is the way partly down the first straight. I'll tell you what, the safety car is earning its paycheck today.
Certainly is.
As we see there, Snedden getting a bit out of shape there down into the first chicane, not going very wide, almost losing a place behind the safety car. See the monkey boy car just about to catch up to the back of Boswell. As the field make their way through the first of the Lesmos. And I do like to apologise for the lack of commentary, but there hasn't been much to commentate on, as Blue Shorty and David Blueface exchanging places. Obviously, Blue Shorty getting a bit too eager to race, a bit like all of us. As David is going to usually slow behind the safety car, he might have actually opened to Blue Shorty. He's going to give the thumbs up, which is a bit strange, as the safety car laps, at least we will have 2 laps of racing. As we see Mansley in the chat say, can the driver of the day be the safety car? It could be if you wish it to be. Of course, Bert Mylander definitely earning his paycheck. So let's hope Silverside Boy can at least keep the grid a little bit lean than Snedden grid. As we see the frame out in force going very wide. Silverside Boy not wasting any time. He is winning first opportunity, and it's going to be given a massive slipstream into Bushman. Only challenge chicane. Allowed to the inside, but it's just a bit too far back. Silverside Boy getting the restart done with as Snedden makes his way past Brunze. Good move there from the trailer. Yeah, side of the into wheel. Get such an overtake on Snedden. Looks for the overtake, but just gets caught out by his teammate, and Snedden goes over the bump at turn 3, and Biddle does make his way past his teammate up into 4th place. Through all that ground, he's lost almost 2 seconds to the leader. Overtake boy. This is going to be down to Boy, from into was again not quite, but they are almost pushing each other around the end of the lap. Buchanan now pulls out to the outside, hoping to get in front of the ball. Got yellow flag in sector 3, thankfully that was on another safety car. As Boswell is tumbling down the order, as is Luge S9. We've had
Yep.
Buchanan and Silverside Boy wheel to wheel, almost level pegging down towards the first chicane. Who's going to be braver in the brakes? Silverside Boy just about holds on, although he goes very deep into the first chicane. Buchanan hoping for a cutback, but Silverside Boy just about covers them off. There's still plenty of opportunities. Probably not. Goes down into 11th place.
goes Brookieman.
5 second
Oh,
penalties.
he's round.
And Brookieman's done a Vettel, he's spun at the second chicane and almost beats out. He's at the back. So he still fell apart. For them, and Silverside Boy getting the feeling he's going to run away with this one.
Yeah, the two of them went side to side into the corner, and there just wasn't enough space for Brookieman, unfortunately.
2 into 1 does not rule his grounds. He's now in second place. Biddle to third, heading in fourth. As somehow he's maintained fifth throughout this race.
He's done well. He's done well to get back up to there.
Done very well to make up the places, as well as Willy Bum, who's made up 9 places, and Neil Nemesis making a move on Willy Bum into 9th. Willy Bum is now fell out the top 10. Silverside Boy is going to win quite a meandering sprint race in their first victory of the Formula 1 Championship. Middle in third, Snedden in fourth, last, fifth, Roskery in sixth, somehow, EGM in seventh, Hobnob in eighth, Willybum in ninth, David Lawface doing an Albon, from the back of the grid to 10th at 5. I believe that'll be reverse grid pole for David Lawface.
That'll be interesting.
Great recovery drive there from my Ferrari teammate, and does get driver of the day, so fortunately Bert Nylander got robbed. As we see Snedden, Silverside Boy celebrate the sprint race and the first victory of the Formula 2 Championship. So, of course, I'm going to ask quite leniently, who do you think was driver of the day for the 2.5 laps we had under active racing?
I'd have to say Silverside Boy.
Silverside Boy.
He managed to get the pass after the first safety car came in, and managed to keep the lead under the second one. So it's basically basically won him the race, wasn't it? So, well, won him the sprint race.
Indeed it was, as Neo Nemesis and Dobby Knock all out of the points. Down in 12th and 13th respectively. We only had 3 DNFs during this race. Revenge Zilla right at the start, getting caught up in the action. Tornado, our fastest in qualifying, just all fell apart in the sprint, and I'm not good. Who made us feel as well felt in chat. 3 retirees in this race. Hopefully though, for the feature race, we have a bit more, shall we say, action and a bit less safety car.
That'll be a bit strange, 15 laps, and they've got to do a pit stop.
Yes, of course, for the feature race, you will have to make a mandatory pit stop.
I say though, it's a bit weird that they went 11 laps in 15.
Yes, feature race as well, a little bit longer than the sprint race, of course, 15 laps, so the drivers can make their mandatory pit stop.
Interesting to see when and who makes their pit stop. Or who makes their pit stop and when they do it, because obviously you could start off in the softs, do a couple of quick laps on them, and then go into the mediums if there's an early safety car. Let's pray there's not another safety car.
I hope not.
You could obviously jump onto the mediums and make them last that the same amount that you just did in the sprint race.
Until the end of the race, yes. Of course, Formula 2 pit stops are significantly slower than Formula 1 pit stops, so you won't see any a 2-second pit stop, so like you normally do. As we now have 10 seconds until the second formation lap starts. And it'll be interesting to see, as Force said, what tyres the drivers will start on. Yes, indeed. I should do have a complete reverse grid, excuse me. So Tornado is on and only 2 people are starting on the medium compact tyre.
That's...
That being Lewis Yorkie in 4th and Monkey Boy Kurt down in 15th, so he's looking to do something. To ask you once again to take us a run through of the grid for the feature race.
Okay, and 20th we have David Lawface on soft tyres, and 19th Roswell again on soft tyres, Willie Bum soft tyres, 17th we have I'm Not Good again on soft tyres, Neon Nemesis in 16th on the soft tyres, Monkey Boy Cup our first driver on the mediums in 15th, TGM in 14th on the softs, Hobnob 13th on the softs, Oscarian 12th, again on the softs, 11th we have TS9 on the softs, 10th we have Snedden, softs, for him in 9th we have Dobby Knock on the softs again, then it's Revenge Zilla on the softs, Groundsy on the softs, in 6th we have Silverside Boy on the softs, then Collateral Ads on the softs. Our next driver on the mediums is LWS Yorkie in 4th. Our top 3 is Biddle, Pretty Min and Tornado, all 3 on the softs.
Thank you once again, Force Manure. As Tornado in this formation, I'm to get this race started, I imagine, as soon as possible. Pretty Min as one of the framers goes onto the grass, even instead of only 10th. So, yes indeed, quite the car park, because we still have 2-3 wide before the final pole. Thankfully they will sort themselves out, as Tornado is about to take their place on the grid in pole position. I believe these are from the qualifying session earlier. Yes, that is correct. Okay, that is correct. It's Tornado, Rookie Min and Biddle in the top 3. As I say that, the top 3 now filtered onto the grid. Just behind David Lawface now takes his place on the grid. 5 lights now going ahead. Drivers. And TGM is an absolute cheating fraud as we get underway. And to nobody's surprise, TGM is a cheat as they lead down towards turn 1 after that jump start. Well done, as we've got a massive punt there on Tornado from Vincent.
Yep, somebody's definitely lost wing.
I believe that'll be the Prema, as TGM leads them through turn 1, of course having to serve that drive-through penalty. Antics. Rookie Min and Tornado were moved to field. Rookie Min remembering what happened last time and eyes were to it. Tornado leading in net pole. Rookie Min gets a great exit out of the section game. Can't quite Desmos as Crossroad Ace had a spin and he has done a Rookie Min. So a disaster start there from Crossroad. As TGM leads them down towards the Star Ace chicane, Tornado and Rookie Min with a main fight here for what will be net first place. Tornado just about keeping ahead of Rookie Min for a now catch. TGM, Rookie Min going out, obviously getting assistance there from TGM. Tornado will not do that, as Rookie Min is able to wheel. Are they going to touch wide as TGM is going to serve his drive for the penalty for being an absolute cheat that he is? Now the top two are as they are Tornado. Then those 7 tenths from the back having to defend. Two lanes of stern, 2 rows of 2 into chicane as Bruttyman gets ahead of Tornado and Lewis gets ahead of Biddle.
We have Neo Nemesis and Roswell in the pit lanes as well, Cross Kerry as well. Fortunately, Roswell and Cross Kerry have got penalties for entering the pit lane speeding.
Any plan of playing the long game between those two has now been gone, obviously due to those penalties and potential front wing changes for all these drivers, as Neo Nemesis now leaves the pits now in 18th place, a calendar year behind TGM, is down 3 places from the start. David Lawface once again making a new start of 5 places.
He's obviously just managed to avoid all the mess at the start.
That's all. It's always going to be carnage around Monza, no matter where you are, position you are in, you're always going to be on the lookout and leads them down towards the front.
Oh, his
Yorkie
hobnob goes really wide. No, sorry, his Willy Bum went really wide coming out of this carry chicane there onto the gravel.
Yes, Willy Bum losing a place there too. I'm not good. Currently fighting over 15th place.
He lost 2, he lost one to David Lawface as well.
Yes, David Lawface now up into 14th place as DRS is now enabled, so expect to see quite a few more overtakes here from the top 3 as Collateral Lads is now up into 4th in the middle. But a second and a half down from Lewis Yorkie. Trains, and I see Bobbing off getting a really good run there on Sned and into the inside around 2-3. I think you challenged them by let them off the this time. It's still getting close to the chance. Fine. They think they're all about all the TS9 is very wide of the first Lesmo. We have Hobnob dive down the inside of Monkey. A brilliant move there from Hobnob up into 2 places. DRS again. Was Hobnob on the softs. Very wide around this guy's chicane, but keeps the place. Not this guy, excuse me, as Brookieman, Tornado and Lewis Yorkie 1, 2 and 3, 20%. DRS 4. Is already getting challenged. Right, close enough. They're going to sit behind Brookieman as Silverside Boy comes into the pits. Lads has pulled a second over Jersey, so that's big for them. They get out of the DRS of the AR driver and is now up there. Biddle as he's under fire from Revenge Zilla. Zilla looking for a move down the inside of Biddle. They're going to him in a second Lesmo. And Zilla gets ahead of the Kramer driver. On up to Zilla. To 6th place, well, starting on the soft. Tornado has made a move on the lead. I have a shot there from Brookieman as Neo misses race with both face good. Nice chicane. I'm not good. Almost spins just about touches onto the control of the car. This is a good shot missing. I'm looking in Tornado and Lewis Yorkie looking to follow them through, and Lewis Yorkie, who's bided his time in all this, got past Tornado and is up past the place. lateral ads on this leading pack. Right, like this, they'll have to be great about the
Yeah, Yorkie are doing really well on those mediums.
making the alternate strategy work, keeping pace with the leaders, and hopefully we'll have enough time come the end of the race to go on a set of softs and catch up to these guys.
That's the thing, I mean, if he keeps this pace at the moment, he's not going to be catching back up, he's going to be coming back out right beside them.
Of course, on soft compound tyres, while Brickyman will have to use mediums. Lateral adds it's a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. That would be his cause, although he does have a nearly a 3-second gap. As Domino gets past Snyder for 7th place.
I take it Zilla just pitted then.
Yes, Zilla did pit last lap, I believe, going on to a set of medium tyres, hoping to get the jump on Snedden. It's actually 6th place, 20 seconds down.
And there we go. Groundsy's currently in the pit just now. He was just in front of him, wasn't he?
Yes, Groundsy in the pits as well as Dobbynock. Zilla is now making his way towards the first chicane. Groundsy just gets in. I think. Yes, Groundsy is ahead of Zilla. So Zilla will have a hot final DRS. Keeps within a second of Groundsy. Dobbynock a little bit further behind. So we have Lewis Shorty challenging inbound. Just out. Lewis Yorkie making those medium tyres work, and this is where he should get a bit of a tyre advantage. As Tornado, all the top three, all covered by just under 0.4 of a second, as I believe Brookieman is going to come into the pits, as well as Tornado, and Tornado hits the back of Brookieman.
Oh.
Front wing damage there for Tornado, who just couldn't stop in time, and Biddle gets a 5-second penalty for speeding.
I think a few of these drivers have been caught out by the brakes on these things.
As has David Lawface, he also has a 5-second penalty. So now Lewis Yorkie leads with a 2-second gap back to collateral adds in second, as carrying a 3-second penalty. Snedden in third, TS9 in fourth, down in fifth. Boy has not made his pit stop yet. Brookieman emerges ahead of Brownsy. Biddle has lost a lot of time and is out behind Zilla, and now Zilla is right behind Brownsy as well. Keep watching Brownsy revenge Zilla here currently at 5, while what could potentially be a net podium. Brownsy was very deep to the chicane while looking for a run on Brownsy companies. Dismal, RS maybe RS chicane. Zilla gaining on this thing. Zilla obviously thinking they will make this first ending in TS9. Hopefully we're going to cover off out of Zilla, who I believe was fighting with Snedden.
I think it was Gownsy and Zilla that were fighting before them. Yeah, they're well past.
TS9.
Well past them.
Just making their way towards the end of the pit lane. as Zilla once again stuck behind Brownsy. The leader here, Lewis York, is 2 seconds clear of Cleveland Lads in second. Both of these guys still yet to make their pit stop. Monkey Boy Kurt down in third, also yet to make his pit stop, trying to take those medium tyres as long as he can. The first of our drivers who has pitted is Brushyman down in fourth, 17 seconds down on Monkey Boy, leading all the time as Lewis Yorkie is going to come into the pits in again. Obviously, wanting to
Nope. Oh, Zilla's. Somebody's had a spin.
And it's Brownsy. Brownsy has had a bit of an incident with Zilla. Tornado and Snedden fighting down towards the Scary. Tornado gets Kramer. Snedden rounds and gets a 3 second penalty for his troubles.
See if Groundsy's had any damage.
As Brookyman sits the fastest lap of the race, and that shows how much pace I have had a connection issue.
As I'm just been kicked back to the dashboard.
I've also been dashboarded from the lobby. Oh my goodness me. F1 2021 has absolutely no problems or faults with this game.
It's the perfect
whatsoever.
game.
Absolutely perfect in every single way, no flaws at all. So, I do apologise for this slight mishap. Try our best to get back into the lobby as soon as we can. No, I don't think we'll be able to rejoin the race. Oh, thank you, David Lawface, who's invited me back. Oh god, I love this game so much. Right, I should be you sending an invite.
Yep. Joining session.
And we are back as Lewis Yorkie still leading, but Lateral has just made his pit stop. And is falling all the time down the order. They're going to be out. In the order, going to be out down in 16th place. They've also pitted for a set of mediums, which is not good for Collateral Lads. They're just ahead of TGM, down in 18th place. Slow went Collateral Lads as Lewis Yorkie doesn't pit again.
Yeah, what has happened to Collateral Lads here?
I think it might just be the time lost in the pit stop. And the fact they've got to put on another set of soft turns. Of course, overtaking him in Monza has shown that it's not the easiest. Lewis Yorkie is still leading with an 18-second gap back to Monkey Boy Kurt. Of course, these two are the only one who haven't stopped yet, I believe. Yes, they are the only two who haven't stopped yet, and we'll have a look at the penalty situation. 5 seconds for Biddle, 3 seconds for Snedden, 5 seconds for David Lowface, 8 seconds for Neil Nemesis, 5 seconds for Roswell, 8 seconds for Collateral Lads. If it couldn't get any worse, I think they might have been caught speeding in the pit lane, as Dobby Knock moves up into 9th place ahead of Hobnob, and Crossgray with a 5-second penalty to down in last place.
Grounds just overtook Tornado down the main straight as well.
Shorty finally comes into the pits.
These split things cannot be right.
There'll be a good stop here from Lewis Shorty to get out ahead of Brookieman, who's just about to make his way around the final corner. Lewis Shorty just about to exit the pit lane. This is going to be very close here between these two. And Brookieman has got ahead of Lewis Shorty. So now it's down to how quickly Lewis Shorty can get those soft tyres heated up and chase down Brookieman, who's only got a 1.5 second gap, as David Loveface is falling down the order. David.
In the pits again.
Oh, David. It was Croskery who was the back marker, as Brookieman was overtaking Shorty. Tyre situation right now. Neil Nemes is on the oldest tyres so far, 9 old mediums. As Roswell and Collateral adds a bit argy-bargy around the first game.
I'm wondering whether the monkey's just holding out for a safety car. Monkey, I think he's just holding out for a safety car.
And as you say that, they now finally come into the pits, hoping that these fish softs are going to be like a rocket ship for them. Brookieman and Shorty down the main straight. Riddle and Zilla are going to be next to get past the point. Just now, as Roswell was on the side. I think Monkey Boy Kurt is going to drop points.
Yep.
Yes, he's going to be down in 12th place. So he's got 3 laps left to salvage what he can from this race and potentially get a points finish. Of course, Snedden does have that 3-second penalty, but it's a long penalty. Lewis Shorty and Brookieman fight for the lead. Lewis Shorty 1.6 seconds on Brookieman. So, what's any
I don't think he will be able to challenge. Unless he can somehow magically turn the tyres on and get something out of them. He's not made any inroads at all. It's been 1.6.
But of course, Brookieman, I think, just said that as well. So, Brookieman obviously taking care of the tyres. Shorty in rounds in his head. Supposed to be ahead of Zilla. So we went just about. And all of these cars here, at least a 6-car train. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2, and Tornado has spun. Once again, he's done a pretty good as well, and rejoins from
Jesus! That was near enough a big huge smash there.
Suicidal from Tornado as TS9 gets a penalty, destroys one that one in this race. Could have been a disaster for everyone involved in that. Racer in Monza, thankfully safe. Brookieman 2 seconds. Brookieman, yeah, I think that that is confirmed. Brookieman has done very well to keep care of the tyres.
Yeah, I mean, Yorkie just seems to be slipping back now. It's the soft tyres just have not worked for him.
Big Amber's not on the seconds clear of the short gate. 11 second gap back to middle. He's looking potentially for Zilla. At the moment, steady. Slow drive here for Revenge though. Ferrari. Just on our end. But as Lewis Shorty goes round the parabolic and now treatment is parabolic and is going to win the inaugural feature race around Monza. Brookieman taking care of the tyres and the tyres do the job for him. He wins around Monza. Lewis Shorty took the gamble on the mediums, just couldn't quite make it work. He comes in second place. Middle drops down the order to 5th place. Brownsy finishing on the podium. Then Zilla in 4th. Biddle falling to 7th. Bobby not 7th. I'm not good. Dropping down to 10th place. Bob not been 8th. Monkey Boy Kurt in 9th. And I'm not good. Rounding out the top 10.
Ooh,
Solid race.
a lot of lads and David Longface going DGM going side by side over the line there.
Ultimately in vain as TGM is 8 seconds clear of Flatter Lads, who was carrying those penalties. David Longface just coming over the line and the Neo Nemesis as well, who's very well out at the start of the chicane, round off this. So while we wait for the grid to fill around, can I ask, Horseman, who would be your driver of the day?
That's a good question. That really is. I don't really think I could pick one, to be honest with you. It was... There you go. I'm not good gets it for the fact they made up the most places.
Yes, a good recovery drive there from I'm Not Good. I believe finishing in the points after starting down in 17th place. Yes, starting 17th, he finished with 1 point despite the 3 seconds of penalties.
Was that the one there, Brookieman?
It was Brookieman indeed who won today's feature race. Lewis Shorty in second and Brownsy rounding out the podium places.
You have Gownsy and Brookieman at the top of the table on 27 points.
Indeed. A very, shall we say, mediocre sprint race, obviously, with Burnt Mylander being the star of the show.
Yeah, it was.
And a
Good feature one.
That definitely delivered.
Yeah, we at least got a full field finishing as well without any safety car incidents.
At least. As we wait for the lobby to sort itself out, we can get our drivers in for a post-race interview. So who was our podium sitters? It was Brownsy, it was
Lewis,
Brookieman and Lewis Yorker. Right, we will get them into the party shortly. Lewis Yorkie, Brownsy, and I've terribly sorry, I've got a bad memory.
Rookie man.
Rookie man. As we wait now for our drivers to join up the party and get our interviews done with, I'd like to ask Force Manure if you would like to interview our third place finisher, which will be Ringside, please.
Yep, can you hear me, Groundsy? You get your options selected to include your party chat. I think we've heard from many of our winners.
I'm here. I think he's as well.
Good, we've got everyone here. So, Force, I'd like to ask you to start with Brownsy, please.
Yeah, so Groundsy, how's your first F1 race, sorry, F2 race went for you there? Obviously, I think you started on the softs, didn't you?
Yeah, I was happy. Got 2 podiums. So
That's right, 2 podiums in fact, wasn't it? You had a nice wee race there, I think, with Zilla and Biddle for a while.
yeah, in the second race I gave damage when I spun. So
Yeah, we seen the spin, so quite good to come back and take the podium after that as well. We just sort of caught the end of it. Well, I don't know if Cruiser caught it on the stream, but I sort of just turned over just as you were spinning round at the time, so what exactly had happened?
just went a bit wide in the spot. I gave Zilla more damage than that to be in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was certainly a good recovery to get yourself back onto the podium there.
And that will be it for Drownsy, yes?
Anything else to add to that, Groundsy?
No.
Well done to Drownsy, our third place finisher, as we have Lewis Yorkie, our second place finisher. Lewis, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear that.
Right, Lewis, obviously trying to do something different to everyone else around you, making the meetings work, and it almost worked out for you in the end.
It wasn't my choice. I tried to go on the softs, but it wouldn't let me, so I went on the mediums, and it worked out too. It didn't work out too bad, to be honest. Until the softs, that's where it really fell apart. But yeah, it was alright in the feature race, so it was good to get a podium.
You were keeping close to the leaders there, right? Until, of course, Rickman made their first pit stop.
Yeah, I tried to stick with them on the mediums. It was quite difficult, but yeah, when I picked for the softs, I didn't realise, but they won 40%. So I think if they were new, I might have had a chance to get lucky. But yeah, 40%. I was just hoping they wouldn't explode before the end. So yeah, I'll take 2. I'll take second place. It's a good start at least.
I suppose obviously with the softs beating as worn down as they were, you couldn't really make an impact.
No, I think they won 77% at the end. So yeah, just hoping they didn't explode. And thankfully, just about made it. But yeah, like I said, I'll take a second place in feature race, especially. It's a good start for the championship, hopefully.
Certainly wouldn't complain for second place. And we have our race winner in the feature race, Brookyman. Can you hear me? Right, Brookyman, first off, congratulations on the feature race victory. So, seeing that obviously Lewis was on the mediums at the start, did that cause you any problems when you made your first pit stop?
I thought I'd be ahead, which I was coming up, and he'd be on softs when he came out of the pits. Tried to build a gap. Luckily for me, his softs were already running, so that helped. Yeah, the mediums were a good race today, so that also helped.
Certainly did the job for you, and also I believe you got the fastest lap of the race as well.
Yeah, I think as I got into the groovies and the players got fastest lap, it's good. After a few laps I went onto them, so yeah.
And anything else to add?
No, it's just a good ads for a bit, and yeah.
Right, well, that does it then for our first Formula 2 weekend. Obviously, congratulations to Rookie Mint, Blue Shorty, and Rounds 8, our podium finishers, and well done to everyone else who took part across this race weekend. We will not be back next Sunday. It will be a 2-week break before our next championship race in Formula 2, which I believe will be around Bahrain. So, a massive thank you to my co-commentator, Force Manure.
Yep.
And thank you everyone for watching, putting up with us throughout the safety car and the feature race. And in 2 weeks' time, we'll see you around Bahrain for round 2 of the Formula 2 Championship. So it's a goodbye from my co-commentator,
Cheerio.
Manure. And it is a goodbye from me as well.